Hello, are we on? I think we are. Hello, good people. Hello. Oh, blimey. Hello, Trace. Thank you very much for that. I wasn't expecting any donations today or anything. Anyway, hello. I did not know I was going to be doing this, and maybe I'm not. I think my camera has frozen already. That was a good start. But yeah, due to popular request, I've decided I would come live and do a bit of a stream today just to show some servicing. I thought given the circumstances, obviously a lot of people are at home with not much to do, I thought, you know what, I could probably put something on. So it's just what I've been doing at the moment. Servicing is what I've been doing, so I thought I would show you guys a bit of that. Oh, there we go. We're working. I think we're working. Very good. So we're going to get started in just a second. I apologise for this filthy, mucky, nasty with bits of wire stuck in it, which isn't very good. Yeah, I always service on a towel and inevitably it gets dirty. I do wash them from time to time, but obviously, yeah, 1 or 2 locos is enough to mess it up. So we'll get started in just a second. Thank you so much, Trace. That was really kind of you. Let's just see who's here. Is anyone here who wants a shout out? Tom Westwood, hello, nice to see you. Thank you very much for the mods, by the way, for dropping things. If either of you guys needs to go, that's absolutely fine, but I appreciate that. Aidan Wood, hello to you too. Blue Havoc, nice to see you. This was a nice surprise, says JG. Well, you know, I just thought, why not? People were asking, apparently, during last Sunday's stream if I could do some extra events. So I thought, why not? And welcome to you all. Hope you're all doing okay. Hope you're all staying safe, of course, and enjoying a little bit of time inside, if that's what you happen to be doing. Lord Luffington, yes, I remember you. I hope you're doing all right. Chris Whittingham, nice to see you. Good day, Martin Jones. Lovely, lovely. Oh my god, fantastic. Was hoping you would do some live servicing. Missed them as they helped so much. Oh, that's great to hear. Right, so, well, the thumbnail shows a different loco that I was servicing, but obviously I don't have a photo of me doing today's locos because I haven't done them yet, so it is a surprise. Loco number 1 is going to be a bit of a challenge. It is a Hornby Castle class, the Earl of St. Germans. Here we go. I've not done this for a long time, so there's going to be pressure. Obviously, with them being DCC fitted, it's a bit difficult because obviously you can't just stick DC to the wheels and get them to turn and test them that way. So that's going to be a bit different, but we'll try this. I've only got my short cradle for some reason. I've literally just tidied my desk, so I don't know where anything is anymore. Which, if you've got a workbench, I guess you will know how that feels. How can this be? I haven't got any of my cradles to hand. Oh yes, I do. Okay. Right, we'll throw that silly one out the way. That one's too small. It's alright for tank engines and stuff. Hey, by the way, guess what? I don't know where they came from, but I found some O-gauge ones. I think they're just pipe insulation, but I thought, yes, we'll keep those. I've already had my, well, tomorrow's video, you'll find out, but I've already had the Terrier in it, which was really quite cool. Right, there we go. Okay, zoom in. There we go. At least I can zoom in easy. Right, is everyone ready for this? I'm a bit nervous. I've not done this live on camera for ages. Obviously, can't edit anything out here. If I make a mistake, you're going to see it. Obviously, human beings do make mistakes. Just hopefully they won't happen today. Hello, Anfield Road layout in the loft. Nice to see you. I don't think so today, says the ugly duckman. What's that, duckman? Castle classes are epic. Yes, they are. And oh yeah, if you're not versed in this, by the way, if you're not used to these servicing streams, there's nothing wrong with these locos. They all work fine. It's just routine maintenance. I service my models every year if I can, and it's just this loco's turn. So I'm going to take the front bogie off, probably clean it when I put it back on. You guys will have to remind me to do that when the time comes, because I believe the body screw is under there, but we won't do the body right now. We'll take the base off and clean up the axles and clean the pickups and such. Now, I can't really remember how well this one's designed. I can't really remember much about the chassis, so we'll get this apart today and take a look and find out, shall we, afresh. So, screws come out. Hey, look, 3 screws, not 9. That's nice and easy, isn't it? Very good. Right, shall we see what the damage is then? Do we need to take the back one out? No, I think we're okay. Okay, so there's the base piece. I'm hoping the It doesn't look like it is, but I was hoping that the base would not be, would have that sort of spring contact for the pickups. It's looking like it is wired, which is again a bit frustrating. Let's see if we can lift it up at all. Yeah, that is tight on the wires, unfortunately. So to get to the axles, we'll give this a go, see if I can lift it up, but you have to be careful, otherwise you'll bust the wires. So to get to the axles, what I might just do is bung one of these screws back in, just so it doesn't all fall apart while I turn the loco upside down. I will take the body off and we'll get the wires loose if possible. If not, we'll just have to leave the axles, but I like to access them and clean them if possible. So there we are. Oops, I've gone and lost the base screw already. There we go. This is to disconnect the tender. Let's get it out. There we go. Got that. Keep it safe. And I will also disconnect the tender connection itself. Now I've got some special tweezers to do this, but there we are. But I don't think they're going to be much help in this case because the wheels are in the way. So I might just try and lever it out very carefully. I don't recommend this, but I'll very carefully try and do this with a pair of screwdrivers. This is what you can do. Let's see if I can do it. It's very awkward. And like I say, I don't really recommend it, but it can be done. There we go. Okay, so the tender can probably move out the way now, and I'll do that just so it doesn't get scuffed up or damaged or anything like that. And we can now hopefully get the body out. Now if I remember, it should just be this screw at the front. Now that the back one's out, and that should get us out. Hopefully, hopefully. Right, let's see. Yeah, that's moving, that's good. Right, very carefully. Try not to lift it with the wheels or anything, because obviously the base plate's only loosely attached at this point. There we are, yeah, it's coming. Okay, very nice. Put the body out the way then. Cool, blimey, look at that. That is one big block right there. Crike. Right, well, I'm not seeing, I think the wires must be going round the back. So I tell you what, let's attempt a bit of a disassembly here. See if I can't get those wires loosened a bit to get to the axles. I don't know if I've done this before. I can't remember doing it, but I must have done it. We'll have a go. Right. Here's a little tip for you. I guess people appreciate it if I cover some tips. So, magnet goes on the side of the screwdriver. No doubt a lot of you will remember this. I always used to do it. And then you can pull out the screws dead easy. It works a treat, does that. Okay, is that the only thing holding the motor mounting on? Or is it just stuck on with lube? Yeah, no, it's just stuck on with lube. Look at that. What a huge piece that is. That's pretty weighty. That's probably why the loco weighs so much. Okay, there we go. There's the motor and gears if anyone's interested. There we go. I think we might have to try and lift the motor and see if we can't free up the wires. So we'll do that. There's another bracket at the back. Obviously this does seem like quite a length to go to just to service a loco, but the thing is, obviously, because I'm filming my models all the time, it's ultra important that every time I come to need to use one, or anything really, that they're working perfectly all the time. And so by servicing them every year like I do, it just makes sure that they're in up-top, tip-top condition. And yeah, man, those wires are incredibly short. There's not much play on those at all. I don't know how we're going to do this. Yeah, let me see if I can show this. It's the red and black wire, can you see them there? That is what we've got to play with. I'm wondering if they're coiled up a little bit, but they don't appear to be. Let's have a look what's underneath this sellotape. Don't really like electrical tape on model trains. Okay, we've got a little bit there. There's a bit to play with. Let's see if we can pull those out. You just have to be careful because the lead-free solder that they use in industry these days is not very good stuff. And yeah, it's very easy to damage a joint. Okay, let's pull these gears out because they're going to fall out if I don't. And at least if I take them out, I won't miss them. Who was that? Thank you, Bullman. Oh, Trace again. Blimey, Trace. Thank you very much. He says, I've got to head into work. Please keep up the good work. Oh, no problem. Thank you. You don't have to do that. Don't worry about that. Thank you very much, Trace. Appreciate that. Right, this is pressure then. So I've managed to free up a little bit, but the solder joints are really quite close to the joint there. But it might just give me enough space to lift the base off and perhaps just clean the pickups and get a bit of oil to the bearings and such. And if it's really oily and messy, I might try and clean them. But it all depends on how much this base plate will move. We'll give it a go. One thing I don't want to do is to start desoldering things because that would just get messy. And sometimes it's very awkward to get them back in place again. Right, okay, we seem to have a bit more movement on this now. Try and get this up without getting the pickups caught in the spokes. That wouldn't be good. Okay, is that might well be as far as I can go. Good thing is though, the pickups are now exposed, so I could probably clean those and that would be fine. There we are. Man, that is not a very easy and serviceable design at all, is that? But we'll work with it, we'll work with it. I could spend the rest of the day trying to get into it, but no, like I say, I'm not interested in desoldering some of the wires. That's the sort of thing you'd do if there was a problem, but while it's all working fine, it's okay. So just clean up these pickups. It does have tender pickups, so it's not absolutely essential that the pickups are completely clean all of the time, but I'll do my best. Okay, they're good. The front ones are proving a bit difficult to get to. I am seeing quite a bit of oil on that front bearing though, so I'm thinking I might get away without oiling it this time. And then perhaps when I'm not on camera under pressure, I might try and do that another day. Although the front bearing I could probably get access to. Obviously the temptation is just to yank this thing up, but those wires, yeah, I wouldn't fancy that. Okay, yeah, there's plenty of oil there, it's looking good. Jared, thank you very much. Good day, mate. Thank you for the stream. It's amazing. Oh, no problem. I don't know if it's going to be amazing. Or don't speak too soon. But thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Right, let's clean up some of this excess oil where possible. I don't like having oil all over the place. No doubt there's some more out of sight, but not to worry. Okay, well, I think that's as much as I can do, unfortunately. I would perhaps normally be a bit braver and really go to town, try and dismantle the thing, but yep, since I'm on stream, if it all goes wrong, you don't want to sit and watch me for the next 3 hours try to fix a mistake that wasn't necessary. So I think we'll move on from that. I did manage to clean the pickups and they weren't dirty at all. Where's the, I think this is the bud I used, look at that, perfectly clean. I think that's because there's tender pickups and yeah, the more pickups you've got, the less dirty they seem to get, because obviously there's less current running through each. Okay, there we go. Make sure none of the pickups are trapped. Make sure they're all free. Can you tell how careful I'm being, given the cost of these? We've got some trying to do later on. Give us a cheer in the chat if you're into trying. Yeah, I'll be whizzing through those, I reckon. Okay, that's all seated correctly, so let's put these screws back in. I like the little motors in these. They're really smart, the long thin design with very strong magnets. Yeah, they're nice. And they run well as well. I know some of, I wonder if these are the same locos that, I need to stop touching it with my screwdriver. It sticks on every time. I wonder if they're the same that the standard class 4 has. I was watching one of Mike's movies videos the other day of his standard class 4 and yeah, it looked like that motor. Right, there we go. And because all the gears are out, you can see the wheels are turning. Yeah. And they're nice and free, which suggests again that the amount of oil on the bearings is absolutely fine. Okay, let's clean out some of this lubricant then, because this tends to go a bit crusty and cause more problems. I might add some more of my own in a second, but we'll get the old stuff out first, because if you just keep adding lubricant, obviously it gets messy after a few attempts. So we won't do that. Make sure that's all clear. Get some of this oil out the way. Get a dry cotton bud. The IPA tends to dry pretty fast, but obviously if you want to accelerate it, you can just give it a rub with a dry bud, and that does the trick pretty well. There we go. Let's clean up the gear then. Here we go. And for this, I have an old toothbrush. There we go. I know that's kind of gross, but it does work. They work the best. Let's try not to splash the mess onto the chassis. That's not a good idea. Yeah, an old toothbrush is good. You could buy a new toothbrush, but then the bristles tend to be a little bit too strong for it and you can end up damaging things. A used toothbrush is nice and soft, and that does the trick. Right, there we go. We're all clear, I reckon. We'll just clean the actual bearing part. Yes, I'm quite thorough these days, if possible, although it's annoyed me that I hadn't got access to those bearings, because I like to clean the... In an ideal world, I can take the pickups out, I can take the whole wheel set out and clean everything and put it all back in. And my favourite locos allow you to do that without too much effort. Okay, there we go. Pop those in there, that's good. And we'll get a little bit of silicone, I reckon. Put those, let's put a bit of that on this gear. Now, you've got to be careful with the silicone because it all shoots out of here if you're not careful. So we'll just get a little bit. This was my idea with the syringes. There we are, squeeze a little bit out. Get that on the gear. There we go, that should mix itself in. George Botterini, oh, no problem. Thank you, and I hope everyone's doing okay. I keep saying that, but just in case there's some new folks joined, I will keep saying that. Okay, very good. Now, I did notice that some of the insulation has come off a solder joint. which is annoying. Some of the sleeving, rather. Now, in theory, it doesn't matter because there's two, but I'm going to try and get that back on because obviously with it being DCC, it's not a great thing if the if bits of it are shorting together. So let me just try, there we are, that sleeving's back on there now. Okay, let's get the motor back in situ. Did I leave the screw in the back? No, I did not. That's fine. That's this one then. And then we won't put silicone on the worm drive, because silicone grease that is, because obviously that's metal. So I think we'll put just a bit of regular lube on there. See if we can get that. Tell you what, I think we're going to need the magnet again. There's one thing you can do with a magnet like this. You can charge your screwdriver with it. So if you do this with a really strong magnet, it does work. You can actually give it some magnetism. Doesn't seem to last very long though. I seem to remember I only did this yesterday. So it could be that the screws aren't particularly attracted to magnets, but we'll see. See if this screw's sticking a bit better now. Yeah, there we go, see? It's dropped off now, and I almost didn't see where that went, but we'll see if that's any better, see if that's going to work. No, it's not sticking now. Whatever, let's just do it by hand instead of messing about. There we go. I suppose I could have just stuck the magnet on the side again, but it's all right. We're in now. Nice and steady. Okay. Man, we've got a bit of a wiry mess at the back there, but that's fair enough. Okay, where's my oil? At least I've been able to find all my tools so far. There we are, a little bit of oil, a little bit on the bearing, of course. And I might just put a tiny bit on the back side, but you want to be careful because that's how you could damage motors if you get too much on. There we are, tiny little bit. And once you oil the brush end of the motor, which is this end, that's where the wires are going, I would always recommend just dabbing the excess away with the cotton bud, even if there isn't any excess. I couldn't see any then, but it's worth doing, and then you know that the motor ain't going to get flooded. Okay, there we go, that looks good. Can't see any fluff or anything on the worm drive, which is always worth checking for. Put that top piece back on. And of course, before I connect it back up to the tender, I can power the motor directly and get the loco to run that way. Then it doesn't matter that it's DCC fitted. Just seeing if I can get points of contact. Yes, that should be fine. Should be able to do that. This capacitor, the contacts on that, should be able to reach actually. See if we can get some power to it then, shall we? See if I've destroyed the thing or not. Oh, who was that? I didn't see one pop up there. Oh yes, I did. American British Railways. Oh, thank you very much. He says, keep up the awesome work, Sam. Thank you for the videos, keeping us all sane during rough times. Oh, cheers to you. Thank you very, very much. And hello to everyone else. I will come and chat after each loco, so don't worry, I'm not ignoring you. Sam's Mental Asylum, says MDH. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Or do I? I don't know. Right. So I can get that one there. Of course, you don't have to worry too much about shorting now because the decoder's out of the equation for the time being. Have we got juice there? Oh, yep, we do. Okay, so let's flip it over. What have I done with my helping hand? Here we are. 10 minutes later, he's found it. No, I've got it. Okay, I'm doing my best to stay in the shot. I normally just freestyle it when I'm servicing, but obviously I'm just trying to be a bit mindful today. Okay, helping hand can grab the front of the chassis, just keep it. Obviously you don't want these things falling over while they're running because that would not be good. Okay, once I've verified that we're still connected, I will put a tiny, tiny bit of oil on the various coupling rods. This oiling pen builds up suspense. You squeeze it, and nothing happens, and then suddenly it floods out. So unfortunately there's no way to do it other than to be really slow and steady with it and watch carefully. And now it's flowing quite free, which is good. Okay, there we go. I these days just oil the crank pins, unless there's visible wear or anything on the sliders on the valves, I don't bother. Okay, looking carefully, just making sure none of the pickups are snagging. No, they're not, so give it a bit more speed. There we go. There we have it, DCC fitted loco running on DC without the decoder even connected. Who'd have thought that? Right, clean the wheels then, there we go. Then we'll have a look at the tender, and I think we'll pay extra special attention to the tender because obviously I wasn't able to do a good job on the loco wheels. Although to be fair, I did clean the pickups, didn't I? So it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I might see if we can take the tender wheel set apart. If it's got a water scoop though, sometimes the water scoops on Hornby locos, and I've no idea why, don't ask me, but they fit them right over some of the base screws, which means you've got to break off the water scoop if you want to take the base of the tender off. Now obviously I don't want to do that, so I tend to just leave them and clean them as best I can unless there's a problem. But why do they do that? That's amusing, isn't it? But luckily it's not that often. Sometimes you can get them off without damaging them. Right, let's go for a second pass. Check the cotton buds are clean. And it also means that while I'm talking, if I did forget which wheels I've cleaned, I know I've definitely got them. You know, this is a great runner, isn't it? Really, really good. Earl of St. Germans. Bit of fluff there off the cotton bud, get rid of that. Right, there we go. That's running really, really nicely. I did forget to set up my DCC controller, so I don't know if I'll be able to test this one live. I suppose it wouldn't take long to set it all up. Okay, carefully get those clips off. Okay, and I think we can put the body back, can't we now? Yeah, probably. Let's just make sure these wires are all out of the way. They are bunched up at the back. Are they glue marks? Yeah, they're glue marks. I'm going to say if there's oil on the body, try and get it off if you can. Right. Oh, this is awkward because there's a lot of pipe work here. Are we in shot? You've got to keep your eye on a lot of things when you put the bodies back on a model. You've got to watch all the pipe work and the details and make sure the wires aren't getting snagged. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing. Let's just go for it, shall I? That's it. Well, that's not too bad. I'll have to hope the thing still works, because if you've trapped a wire against the motor or something like that, sometimes it can mess things up, but I think we're okay on that. So we want this screw for the front of the Loco, and then of course, you see that one sticking to the screwdriver. That's a bit odd. I'm not complaining. Pop the front bogie back on and give the wheels a clean. I've noticed the front bogie wheels are dirty, and if you notice that on your models, just double check they can't be adjusted, because that might suggest that they've been putting too much pressure on the track. And if that's happening to too great an extent, you could see a reduction in pulling power, because all the weight's being, well, a lot of the weight, too much in fact, is taken by the front bogie and not by the driving wheels. And I did find, I think it was my Hornby B17 had that problem, and I just bent the front bogie holding, housing, whatever you want to call it, just bent it up out the way, and the pulling power virtually doubled. I was bemused as to why it wasn't hauling, but you got to check these little things. They're stupid little things, but they can sometimes cause problems. Okay, actually they're not too bad, look. Could be. I think they're dirtier than the driving wheels, but they ain't too bad. Another thing you can do to test if the non-driven wheels are taking too much weight is put them on a perfectly flat piece of track and then lift up the non-driving wheels. If you can lift them up off the track and the Loco itself doesn't lift up, then you know they're not taking too much weight. If you lift one of the bogie wheels and the whole Loco body moves, then that could suggest that there's a problem. And of course we saw that with the Oxford rail, Adams radials and such. Okay, we should be able to get the base of the tender off this time because there's no water scoop. Thank goodness for that. There we are. Let's centre in on that. Have a quick look at the chat. How's everybody doing? Everyone having a good day? Evanswood Central. Hi Sam, how's things? I'm very good, thank you. Just having a bit of fun doing the old servicing. We do a video with Canadian steam locomotives. XD Sam the Gamer. Maybe I'd like to. I don't have very many at the moment, but possibly one day. XD Sam the Gamer, how many locomotives do you own? Well, sometimes I dread to think, but I think it's somewhere around 400 engines now. It's probably not quite that, but that's the next milestone, I think. I've not tried to count them for a long time. One project I have been doing, I'll tell you about that in a second. Who was that? Oh, the Imperial Diamond Spinosaurus, thank you very much. Sam, the East Lancashire Railway got robbed. Did it really? What, in these times? Disgusting. What is wrong? What's the matter with people? Although I shouldn't be saying in these times, it's disgusting whatever time, isn't it? But especially when people are already in a state of distress. It's just damn right cruel, isn't it? That. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, I've just popped the coupling out because I expected there to be another screw back there, but there wasn't. Okay. Waste of time. Never mind. Right, let's see if we can get this up then. I'm hoping so. We've not had a good track record with this Loco so far. Track record. There we go. Okay, not too bad. And it's dry as a bone, look at that. No lubricant on there at all. Well, there's a tiny bit. But the actual axles are dry as a bone, so it's perhaps a good thing I've done that. Let's pop the wheels out then. You have to be careful, of course, with your DCC sound fitted engines, because if you use too much cleaning fluid it can drip onto the speakers. And I can see that you can probably see the speaker actually. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's the speaker facing downwards, so I've got to have to be really careful with that. Right, clean these pickups. Yes, I was going to say, wasn't I, about what I've been doing this morning. Callum Wilcox knows, because I sent him a picture. I've started to extend my O-gauge layout. It's not going all the way around the room. I know a lot of people were asking me to do that, but unfortunately I just can't do that because I've got so much furniture in here that stores my coaches and wagons and all that stuff. I'd have to move it all in order to get a line going all the way around the room, and I can't do that. But what I've done is I've extended it around a curve. I've actually built a curve using Pico Track. It was great fun actually, a bit of a challenge, but I did manage it, and it now goes around a curve. I'll show you that at some point. Pop these wheels back in. You won't see it on tomorrow's video, that's the Terrier video, because obviously I filmed the video before I did it, but I will probably show you it at some point. Yeah, really excited about it, and hopefully I'll be able to more or less double the track length. That'd be really good. How's people doing? Extending. Did I say extending? Yes, it's gone around the corner. It's very, very tight indeed. It's very, very tight. Like I say, there's a beam. I was telling the members yesterday in the stream, there's a beam against the wall. And between the beam and the wall, I would say there's, I think it was 7 or 8 centimetres, something like that. And between that gap runs the O-gauge stuff, the track, which is crazy. I've just realised I didn't put that horrible bit of electric tape back onto the motor and panicked. I thought I've got to take the thing apart again. Then I realised I don't really want electric tape all over my engines, so we'll leave it. The wires didn't snag or anything, so I think we're okay. Okay, bit of oil on the axles. I did notice, was this one of the locos that was whistling when it was going in reverse? I can't remember if it was this one or not. It was one of the Great Western 460s that I made a mental note to add some oil to the tender bearings. Could have been this one. Oh look, that's to say these have got pickups in them. They are running really, really nicely. That's beautiful. Set that back one. That one's not so free, but those are. Although once I put these screws back in, we might lose a bit of that, but we'll see. Although this is a Hornby loco, not a Helgen, so we might be all right. Oops, are we in? Yeah, there we go. Don't want to start tapping new threads into these. Oh, this lack of magnetism is really annoying me. I wonder if it is these screws. Although they are a bit. They must be made of an alloy that's not that magnetic, because the screwdriver, I'm pretty sure, is better than that. Okay, there we go. Are we still free? Hey, we're still free. That's good. All right, let's get these wheels cleaned. See if these are any dirtier. Yeah, no, they're all right. They're not so bad. At least we'll do it and then they're done. Excellent. Right. Yeah, they are reasonably dirty actually, but it has been a year since I've done this, so. Or has it? Can't remember if I've had this long enough to have serviced it before or not. I think so. We'll check. I've got like a servicing diary for each loco, so we'll double check and see. I'm pretty sure I've done it at least once before though, surely. Cool, right, back coupling, that's something I often forget, and I finish servicing and I find about 3 couplings sitting on the bench, and then I have to try and figure out where they all came from. Yes, learn from my errors. Do as I say, not as I do. Right, let's get these put back together then, shall we? Yeah, get these lined back up, and hopefully I've left myself enough cable on the plug to actually get it back connected again. It's looking a bit near the mark, is that? But we'll risk it. Right, are we in? Yep, we're in. This is one of those awkward screws that can trap the drawbar if you're not careful. Oh no, that's good. Okay, let's get the plug. Oh yeah, no, there's plenty of space on that plug. Jolly good. There we are, we're in. Wasn't the most careful, I could have done that, but I think we're okay. And then you can check continuity by just giving a few volts to your power supply. And it's a bit naughty, you probably shouldn't do it, but you just test for a short circuit between the wheels. So You don't want to do it across because some decoders don't really like this power supply, but if you do it across there, shorted, 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 there we are. And this doesn't put any voltage across the decoder. So they are all shorting, which means every single wheel is picking up perfectly. Good, right. So what I will do is I will put on my PC that I use for the DCC stuff, and we'll give this a go, see if it works right, fingers crossed. And while I wait for the PC to warm up, hopefully Windows Update isn't going to come and annoy us all. I'll have a look at the chat and see what you're doing. Oh my god, that was a huge pop. God, inrush current, man. That was kind of frightening, that was. Right, let's have a look. Let's see if we can get the chat up. I think I put the chat in here. It's not the best. The contrast isn't very good. We really need something black. Hang on. No, that's not black. I want something black to put there so you can see yourselves. Here we are. We'll improvise. Right, where do we need to be? Other side. There we go. That's good, isn't it? Right, let's see how it's going on. Right. Can I be a moderator? I think we have mods today, Jack, but thank you very much. I'll bear you in mind if I need you to be any some. Told you there would be running. Yeah, there's going to be a bit, but I've only got these 2 cameras set up, so you ain't going to see an awful lot, but we'll see how it goes. Not WinZip updates. I don't have WinZip updates. The Thomas the Tank Engine wooden railway fan and all those numbers. Let's have a look, see how it's getting on. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, this PC doesn't boot properly either. I have to go into the BIOS and tell it which drive to boot from. No doubt I can fix the problem if I change some of the settings, but it's easier just to do it. What do we want? Hang on. Boot menu. SSD. That one. Silly old computer. Never mind. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm pretty sure it's going to work because it was running fine on the bench, but you can upset things, can't you? Right, anyway, while we're waiting, moo, says Bullman. Oh, Bullman, lovely to see you. Jack Andrews, I started watching in 2014. Man, that's a long time. I think I was only just starting off in 2014. It was just a bit of like a 1 video every 2 months sort of job. Oh, Ryan Rail, the first Sam's Trains live stream I've joined. Awesome, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. How about working on the Helgen Tango? And now that message has been retracted. You were right to retract it. The Helgen Tango is not that bad to work on, I must say. After the swimming pool incident. That sounds funny. The swimming pool incident. Yeah, I took it to pieces and gave it a good service, and it was fine. It was quite easy to do, which is good. Right, let's couple up to the DCC controller. I've got it, it's all modular, by the way. I don't know if you could see that, but I've just got some connectors that go between them. Oh no, I didn't change the camera shot, did I? So you won't have seen it. Get Railmaster loading up. That's another 20-minute job. No, not really. Shouldn't be that long. Can you show Speedy Pete, says SLD51. Speedy Pete will be making an appearance in Sunday's live stream, so watch out for that. I don't know if he still works, mind, but we'll find that out. Well, we'll find that out on Sunday, I guess. Right, let's give this a try then. Let's see if Railmaster's ready to grace us with its presence. Let's have a go. No, still saying please wait. Well, we can get the loco set up on the track. I'm hoping this loco is actually entered into Railmaster. It should be, I think. But it wasn't that long ago since I set it all up again from scratch, so it could be that I'll have to find out what number it is. We'll see. Right. No, go away. I don't want to upgrade. Okay. Where are we? Castle class. Earl of St. Germans. Oh, it is on here. Right. Okay, so we've got power to the decoder. It's whistling. See if it runs. Oh, yeah. That's fine. Just check it in reverse then. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. That looks all right, doesn't it? That's a good job. Well done, I reckon. Backwards. Yeah. Good. So at least the next time I want to run that one for a video or a stream or something, or perhaps not a stream with it being DCC, but yeah, I'll know that it's fine, which is excellent. Good. Okay, so I'll just go and have a look at my servicing book. I'll put the chat back up while I do, and I'll read you out whatever info I see. When did I last? Oh, I serviced this one last in February 2019. Yes, I did. That's right. So we're a little bit late. I do jiggle around the servicing dates for certain locos at some point. Anyway, so this is servicing for March 20, and I'll schedule it again for April 21, because that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you ready to find out which loco is next then? It is the Hornby Terrier, Whitechapel. Ooh, interesting. We'll see how that goes. Let me find the page. I don't think I've done that one before, so if anyone's interested on how to get their Hornby Stepney working right, we'll find out together. I say that because I can't remember much about it. It seems like a long time since I've done that. Just trying to find the page. I'll be with you in a sec, folks. ST. Hope it's under Terrier and not Whitechapel. I'm sure it will be. Right, what does it say? Oh yes, new motor, 2017 it says. That's when the thing blew up. Told you, it wasn't lying. Right, I'll go and grab that and then we'll have a quick look at the chat again. See how everybody's holding up. Where are you, Terrier? It's like a dog's bath time. None of them like it, but they all have to have it done. Okay, there we go. Whitechapel. This is the old Terrier, I should say. It's not the latest Hornby one, so don't cringe too much. Jared, thank you very much. Do you think you'll get any Aussie locomotives? I'd love to. I'd really love to. That would be awesome. What's up, Victoria? Train Blogs, nice to see you. Heyo, Aiden Tube, nice to see you as well. I missed the stream again. Hopefully I won't do it 3 times next stream. Oh, you're all right, Juiceman. You're here. You haven't missed today's. XD7 the Gamer says, I love your videos. That's very kind. Thank you. Yes, I've got some new American stuff, Ryan Rail. Yeah, I need to get to it actually. There's a lot of stuff I've got that I haven't reviewed yet, but we'll get to them. We'll get to them. Like I say, I've got a bit of a stockpile of engines that I need to review. But given the situation, that's pretty good, I think, because it means if all the model shops do shut down, we'll be all right. Okay, so I'm just taking my soft paintbrush to the loco, just making it clean, just dusting it off very slightly. Obviously, you don't want to use a brush that's too bristly or too strong. Again, preferably a used one. It's probably a bit softer. Right, see how we get on. Oh, who was that? Thank you very much. That must have been Jared, was it? No, it was Models and Trains. Oh, thank you very much. Could you service a Hornby Peckett W4? We will see. I've got a list of locos that are due for a service, and I think I did my Peckett last month, which means it's not due for another one right now. But possibly one day, we will see. Anyway, I'm fairly sure the pickups are not mounted to the base on this one, which means we should be able to get access to it. Now, I will be taking the body off as well, and I can't remember exactly which screws release the body, so I'm thinking we'll just take them all off and have a go. Whether the coupling screws need to be taken off, I'm not sure. I don't know if they do. We'll perhaps leave those till last, and if nothing's moving, we'll know that they do. So let's take these out. I reckon that first one that I've just done was a body screw because it's quite long. That one's shorter, which suggests that that's just holding the base on. I'm guessing same with this one. Yep. This one I'm quite wary of because it's got one of those dodgy motors in that like to blow up or fail. So it's well worth, if you've got a Hornby Terrier, keeping on top of it, making sure it's well serviced. Okay, yeah, the base is moving. I think that was another body screw. That one was a bit longer. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Let's clean up some of the lubricant off this then, and we'll add some fresh, as always. No bearings in the wheel set. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah, by the way, last month I serviced the new Hornby Terrier, and they are beautiful, mechanically, absolutely beautiful. I think they've only got 3-pole motors, but man, it was a pleasure to service. Proper bearings, really good inside. I was very impressed, and it was easy. It took about literally 10 minutes to do the whole thing. It was perfect. If every loco was like that, it would be an easy life indeed. There we go, wheel set out. This is great. You see what I mean? Nice and easy. This has got these sort of plunger style pickups, which is interesting. But yeah, love it. You can just probably take the whole body out, in fact. There we are. Look at that. You can just get to the chassis. That can now be really easily cleaned. I can get all the lube off it. cleaned the pickups as well, and it won't take long, hopefully, unless I do something wrong. Okay, there's probably better things to use than a cotton bud at this point, but it's fine. Let's put this down on the table so you can see. Clean out the bearings. Get all the lube off actually, and then we'll focus on cleaning in a second. Yeah, it's not that oily, is it? It's not too bad. These days I don't use very much oil. When I started out, as everybody does, I always tended to overdo it. But yeah, you don't need much, you really don't. Especially if I'm doing this once a year, it doesn't need much at all. Some locos would be alright without it, of course, but I don't recommend that particularly. Right, let's do the sides, being careful of the pickups. Yeah, it's perfectly clean this. This is weird though, look, it's actually got different pickups for different parts of the model. So you can see we've got proper pickups here. Can you see them there? You can turn it that way, there's the pickup, look. So we've got traditional pickups there going to the front wheels, and then you've got these plungers which go to the rest. Very interesting that, I wonder why. Strange, very strange. But no complaints because the locos actually run really well. In fact, I wonder if Hornby designed this, somebody at Hornby rather, not a person. I wonder if somebody at Hornby designed this, or if this is sort of derived from the Dapol design. Because I know Dapol like their strange coupling methods, don't they? Sorry, picking up methods, not coupling. Oh, they do have strange coupling methods too, but that's not what I meant to say. Okay, that's good. I suppose I could test that those plungers are working, but nah, it's a bit much, too much effort. Right, so the chassis looks good and clean, and it's not shining anymore, which is good. Let's clean up the wheel set then. Oh, I love this when you can take the wheel set out. It's like a dream come true, low-key. Clean those up. They're not very dirty. I seem to run this loco quite a bit actually. It's definitely run since last service. There we go. I don't think we'll go the other side of the gear because I might. The thing is, the cotton buds tend to shear off bits of fluff, so it doesn't look dirty. So I'm not going to go in there, I don't think. Okay, good. Now make sure we get the wheel set the right way. This one's easier because the gear's on the end set, so obviously it can't go in any other way. But just make sure nonetheless. Okay. Let's do the front pickups first then. Now the fact that it doesn't have bearings makes this part a bit easier because you haven't got to worry about getting them in. Okay, and we'll just see how we get on with those plungers. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Oh, that was great. Look at that. How easy was that? Very. Okay, is that going to stay where it is? Yeah. A little bit of oil on each of the bearings then, make sure we haven't got any fluff. Oh, make sure I'm not disturbing the wheel set again. There we are. There we are, a little bit of oil. Perhaps go a little bit extra because it hasn't got proper bearings, but besides that we should be okay. Right, don't fall over. I did clean up the base, didn't I? Let's just make sure we haven't got any fluff on it or anything. Although, you know, to say I run on the carpet, I don't get much of a fluff problem at all. As you can see from the two I've done so far today, there's very, very little. Right, so we'll just put this on temporarily. In fact, it won't need to come off again. But we'll just put the base screws in. How's everyone doing? You all hanging in there? Castle class or Royal Scot class? Evanswood Central. Royal Scot, I think. When will you review Circle? SLD 51. It's all filmed and ready to go. It's next month at some point, I think. Probably could do it for April Fools or something. It's certainly silly enough. Ugh. This screwdriver, man. Right, where's that magnet? Come on, you're letting me down, screwdriver. The magnet is stuck to something. Oh, they're such good magnets. Neodymium, it's worth, I'll tell you what, one of the best tools you can have is a neodymium magnet. Amazing little tools. Come in useful all the time. If you drop a screw on the floor, you just wave it around a little bit over the floor and chances are you'll find it in the end. Very, very useful. Okay, there we go, that's all held together nice. There we are, there's the dreaded Type 7 motor. I want to make sure actually that capacitor doesn't bend down and touch the armature. That wouldn't be good. Oh well, I think we're okay. Okay, so there's a bit of fluff, whether that's come from running or whether that's just come from the towel that we're sitting on. We'll just get rid of it. There we go. Let's get some of that silicone grease. I'm just trialling silicone grease this last couple of months and then seeing how locos respond to it. It seems to be good, it seems to work well. And I'm also trialling Vaseline on pickups. But you've got to be careful. I'm only trialling it on some sort of low value locos because obviously you've got to watch Vaseline because it's not very good. Petroleum jelly is what it is. It's not very good on plastics, so you've got to be careful with it, but it's quite good. I used it on some of my O-gauge Lima stuff to lubricate the pickups, and it works fine. It does work very well because of course petroleum jelly, it's not conductive, but it doesn't isolate, or insulate rather, like traditional oil does. Okay, I think we're there. Let's just see if I can figure out a simple way of powering this. Make sure the pickups are in place. Yeah, I can see how we could do that. That should be fairly straightforward to do. See if the thing still works. You never know with these. Right, a bit close to the wheel there, but we'll see. Yeah, we're good. Okay, grab the helping hand. This loco is probably light enough that I can hold the whole thing with it, but we'll see. This one needs tightening up a bit. That's it. Right, flip us over. Grab it there. Perfect. Okay, can you see that still yet? Right, a bit of power then. Oh, we're stuck. Now, why are we stuck? Let's have a look. I'm speaking in rhyme. Something's not right there. I don't know if the base plate is causing problems. Let's have a look. That could be it. I've gone and sheared the wire. Is that a separate issue? Right, get the soldering iron on. I'm just trying to figure out whether we have actually got a problem here. I don't know if one of the gears might have split. I hope not. Well, we'll give it another try. Let's, while we wait for the soldering iron, let's power the motor somewhere else and see if we're actually working right. Some locos seem to jam up if you run them upside down. It's quite rare. But if there's too much tolerance in some of the parts and gravity's not acting in favour, there we are. That's alright, isn't it? Must have just been the wire then. It looked like it seized up, and it felt like it had as well. Let's just try it in reverse. This is the redneck way of reversing a loco. Yeah, no, that's perfectly smooth. And that silicone grease is working its way in. How very odd. I really don't know what caused that. It must have just been the wire shearing, but it really did seem like it had seized up. It really did. Oh well, let's fix that wire then. Of course it would work without that wire, but I don't want to sacrifice any of the pickups. Right, what temperature are we on? 300, should be fine. I like to solder at higher temperatures really because you can be quicker and it stops the plastics melting and such. There we are. Tin up the wire. Oh, it's literally actually just soldered. The wire touched the solder that I've just put on and welded onto it. But no, we'll do the thing properly. We ain't botching this. Yeah, it's actually quite good that this has happened because I was talking about the wires not being very well soldered and shearing off. So at least I can show you how to fix it. Sometimes you might need to strip the insulation back, but I'm going to try and get away with it on this one. Come on. Right. Well, the easy test, I'm not sure if that's actually contacting or not. Yes, I think it is. Just double check. Yeah, it is. Okay. Right, wheel cleaning then. We'll put a bit of oil on the coupling rods, or on the crank pins, more specifically. You don't put oil on the rods. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Okay, hold it with the couplings. At least the couplings are pretty firm on this. Some locos, the thing would just drop off if you tried to do it. Tango. 1361. Egg vans. What am I doing? I need to stop this. Right, there we go. Working. And not very well framed. There you go. Right, little bit of oil on the crank pins then. Hopefully I can't mess this bit up. That's it. I think one day I might take the crank pins out and clean the coupling rods because they're a bit dirty looking. But they're alright for now, it's just cosmetic of course. There we go, 6 volts. How's everyone doing? 9F or 8F? Oh, I like this, are you having a little quiz? That's awesome. For me, I think it's got to be 9F. I'll be interested to know what other people say though. Let's see. What's your favourite, folks? 8F or 9F? I think the 8F's probably a nicer looking design, but the 9F is just classic, isn't it? Quite a special loco. They are. Wheels look pretty clean on this one, I must say. And what I'll also do is check continuity to all the pickups as well, because you've had 2 of those motors crash and burn, and one was almost scary. Oh, it was almost scary. I thought you said, and one was almost scary. Yeah, they do. They do tend to burn out quite frequently. I don't know, well, I do sort of know why, but I don't know why they have to use them. Yeah, that looks really good and clean. Okay, let's do the inside of the wheels then. That's important not to forget. Even those are perfectly clean. And a bit of dirt off that one. Man, I'm surprised at how clean this is. Very impressive. Right, let's check continuity to each wheel then. Because this is DC, we can just do it the standard way. So those 2 are fine, those 2 are fine, and those 2 are fine. Full house. Brilliant. Okay, that one was easy. Easy peasy. Right, hopefully I won't need the soldering iron again, so put that off. Here we go. Here we go. Right, which way does it actually go on? That's the big question. I forgot. Let's guess. It won't go on if it's wrong. No, I think that's wrong. I had a 50-50 chance. Yeah, that's it, but I can see one of the wires is getting in the way. That's nice, there's like little slots for the wires to sit into. That's quite good. Right, try again. Yeah, that's better. Right, is that it? Are we in? I think so. That look good to you guys? What did people say to the 8F, 9F question? Oh, a lot of people said 9F, I think. May Fools or April Fools? Why is everybody asking me about May Fool's Day? I did sarcastically say in that live stream that I'd be doing a May Fool's Day video this year because people were asking me what date my April Fool's Day video was going out on. Yeah, you shouldn't ever ask an obvious question to me because you'll get a sarcastic answer. Anyway, I think we're there. Is that in? There we go. Right, I have to remember to disconnect my DCC controller, otherwise the poor little Type 7 motor would definitely get fried. So I'll pop it on the middle line for the time being and test it on there. I had a bit of an accident this morning with my Gauge Master controller. I accidentally broke the knob off. One of the control knobs came off. I was carrying a table and I just put my foot down and caught it, unfortunately. But it's fine, I've glued it back on. It's just a bit stiff now, that's all. Oh, I didn't think the Loco was going to work then. In fact, this knob is very stiff now. I actually quite like it, it feels quality. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I super glued the plastic back in, but I think it must have swelled a little bit because it's not going around very easy. But the Loco's fine, as you can tell, so that's good. So that should be her sorted for the next year or so. Perfect, good old Terrier. Yeah, I do like that one. It's a good livery on that, isn't it? Right, Railmaster's telling me communication with the controller has been lost. Yes, of course it has. I've unplugged it. I don't know. Right, there we go. Right, let's have another look at the chat. I will grab myself a drink and I will sign that Loco off for another year. Let's see how it's going. I hope the Rails Terrier gets released soon, says Dom. Yeah, so do I. What has happened to it? I mean, I know right now it makes sense that things would be delayed. But it seems to be taking a very long time, doesn't it, that? I'm desperate to get my hands on it. Okay, so April 21, I think. We'll set that one in. Right, perfect. Where are we? Right, let's give that one a tick. Perfect. Okay, next up then we have some triang. We've got 3 triangs to do. We've got 2 OH shunters and the other one I will save as a surprise for you. So let me jump ahead to my triang section and we're doing the blue one first. Okay, it says this has been fully serviced. I scaled the motor armature in 2017 and it does say keep an eye on the motor readings. So if I detect that it's not running that well, I'll have to double check that. But these days I don't tend to measure the motor coil values. I just yeah, I go empirically. If it looks like it's running bad, I'll measure the motor, find out what's going on. Right, how are we doing? More SC, hello to you. Rory Stevens, welcome back. Jack Animations, hello to you, hope you're okay. Thomas and Friends seasons 1 to 5, the seasons where character development was a thing. Ah, I detect a bit of a dig there. Oh dear. Are you going to do more of these, says the Landy Lad? Possibly. If people like them, I might do. Probably not tomorrow because I'll be setting up for the live stream on Sunday tomorrow. But we'll see. Possibly Monday afternoon I might do it, but no promises. Right. Hello, Misty the Rat. Nice to see you. Don't think I've had a rat come to one of these streams before. Is your grandma's birthday on April the 1st? No. That must have been an April Fool's Day lie that I told, or I don't know. The best technical expertise in British engineering came together in the 9F, the final. Yeah, that's true, SS, yeah, it was the very ultimate British steam loco, wasn't it? Very much so. Right, go on then, let's go in for the record. Let's see if we can get this 08 serviced in record time. Right, just grab me paintbrush, give it a little dust down. There we go. These are classic, man. If you want to learn how to service models, buy any Triang Loco. Here we are. There's this one. Beautifully easy to service, and you can also learn quite a lot from them as well. Okay, so body screw is at the back, so I won't put it in the cradle. There's no need. Just pop this out. I don't remember if this is one that has my little body mounting. One of them didn't have a proper mounting on it, so I had to make my own, which is embarrassing because it was a bit of a bodge. Oh no, it's not this one, no. So one of them didn't have this piece here. See this piece that holds the body on? Look at that. That's an adapter, because this chassis was used to run all of the Triang 060s, whatever it was, whether it was steam, diesel. These days, obviously, that's unheard of, but they did that. And so we've got an adapter here. I think the other chassis, there's a screw hole there, so you could put this on a pannier tank or something like that. I think that's what that hole's for. Could be wrong, actually. But yeah, it's the same chassis anyway, or very similar chassis. There was all sorts of different adapters made for them. Right, let's pull the motor out of here then. We can do a full motor service on these, because that's nice and easy to do. And because I scaled it with the Dremel last, well, what did I say, 2017, it should clean up really nicely, we'll see. Okay, put the brushes out, there we go, they'll just fall away, that's it. Put those to one side, we'll give those a clean before it goes back in. And then the motor just pops right out, just like that, very nice. Man, what a long time it is that since I've showed servicing one of these X04 motors. Alright, so this is a routine service. I'm not restoring this from sort of damaged condition or anything like that. If I was doing that, I would be taking a lot more care. I'd measure the different readings from the various plates of the armature and the commutator, but I'm not doing that today because I know the motor's fine. I've done it before. But there we are. Yeah, this is what you do with these old Triangs. You clean up that armature and hopefully you can see how nice and clean that looks. I've not finished it yet. I should probably show you it once I've done. But yeah, they're good. They're really nice and easy to clean. And I do have a remagnetizer as well. The strength of the magnet really does matter with these. If the magnet's gone weak over time, they won't run right. But that one, as you can see, is fine because I've remagnetized it. But if you've got motors like this that are really weak, that's probably why they're not running right, because of the magnet. Okay, let's grab a needle then. You need these because they've got great big pits between the different plates of the commutator, and you just clean those out. This is what goes wrong with some of Bachmann's locos, I've found. You get bits of carbon from the brushes building up between the commutator plates, and because carbon conducts, you get a lot of current passing through it. And a lot of current passing through a cheap, nasty motor, or a modern motor, isn't very good, because obviously current generates heat, and heat's not good for modern motors. These will take it all day, you can guarantee it, and they'll never be a problem. But not so with modern ones. And of course you can't open up Bachmann motors like you can the trying ones and do this, which is partly why, although I have done it. I thought about making a video about it. I have opened up Bachmann motors before and fully cleaned the commutators, but you have to bend metal parts to get them out. So the brush springs need to be bent out of the way, or rather the pieces that hold the brush springs. They can only be bent so many times before they drop off. And the same thing goes with the actual motor housing that holds the motor together. It will fall apart if you do it too many times, and I speak from experience, but once or twice, yeah, you can do it, but just make sure you do a good job, because they're not designed to be serviced, unfortunately. And yeah, you pay for it in performance. I mean, these motors are open frame, these trying ones, and they're really nice to service, but obviously they don't run as well as modern locos do. But if they are kept in tip-top condition, and as you can see, I've polished all the brushes and stuff previously, so that there's really good contact there. And they do run beautifully well, usually. So clean those up. Oh, thank you. Who was that? That was Logan R. Thank you so much. Do you have the new Hornby Hogwarts Express? No, I don't. I have the engine. I have Alton Hall, which is the same model, but I don't actually have the Hogwarts Express one. No, it's got a light, hasn't it? Which my Alton Hall doesn't. But yeah, they're good. They're good models. I serviced a Hall the other day, yesterday in fact. Pitchford Hall it was. Quite a nice one to service that. Okay, there we go. That's all back together. Let's give it a bit of oil. Then we'll put that to one side and deal with the chassis. That's it. Work that oil in. There we go. Job done. So that motor should work properly now. I say should, it might not. It's very easy to do something wrong and then it'd be completely dead, but ideally that won't be the case. Right, let's pop the base off then and clean those pickups. I forget what year these 08s came out now. It's probably in the 50s. I think. Probably wasn't that long after the real 08s came out. Yeah, they were considered modern current locos at the time, which is crazy, isn't it? Right, let's push these pickups out. There we go. Give those a little clean. I'm expecting these to be a bit dirty, of course, although they're not bad. No, they're not bad. Not bad at all. And then we'll just clean the underside of that, because I can see there's a bit of oil on it. Yeah. That's it. And we'll do the chassis as well. Just get rid of all that excess oil. You don't want your locos to be dead oily, of course. So test the wheel set. Yeah, that's running nice and free. Let's try and clean the axles a little bit. That's the problem with these. You can't get the wheel sets out without pulling the wheels apart. So I don't recommend doing it. I would recommend just cleaning the axles, pushing them through. So I'm using my thumb here to push the wheel to the end of its travel so that you can clean as much of the axle as you can. Only where it makes contact with the axle and the chassis, of course. And I don't tend to bother with the centre axle because that gear tends to snag on the cotton buds and pulls bits of it off. There we go. And I could actually tell that because it was lubricated with the IPA for a second there, the wheel set freed up big time. And we'll be able to do that permanently with proper oil in a second. Okay, so there we go. As you'll notice, there's only 2 pickups with this. The other set does not have any pickups on. Let's see if anyone can, well, if you know, perhaps not, don't put it in the chat, but if you can take a guess as to why we've only got pickups going to these wheels, if you don't already know, put it in the chat and see if see what people come up with. That'll be interesting. Oh, what an idea. Should do this. Should do like a proper quiz, shouldn't I? That would be good. See if anyone figures it out. there is a clue. I'll give you a clue. Here we go. Take a look at these wheels. Okay, so that's the wheel that does have the pickup going to it, and that's the one that doesn't. So you can see the difference. That one's probably a better one to show. Yeah, no pickup. I mean, neither of them do. In fact, no, that's not a good one to show. This one. There we go. No pickup. Pickup. Yeah, you can see the difference there, hopefully. Right. I know, so I won't answer. Because the middle ones aren't flanged. No, none of the middle ones have pickups. So what I mean is these ones here have pickups. So that one's got a pickup, that one's got a pickup. But on this side, there are no pickups. As you can see, the wheels don't touch anything. So how does the model get power? It's like a little quiz. Brilliant. Right, what's your favourite American steam loco, Sam? I don't know. It's probably one of those old Western 440s, old-timey ones. Or the Berkshire. I really like the Berkshires. They're awesome. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know very many American locos. I wish I did, though. Right. Anybody knows? Traction tyres. The middle one is blind. Yeah, the middle one is blind. I don't know if anyone's getting this. We'll see. Either everybody knows or everybody doesn't know. Traction tyres. Lucky 4449. Good guess. Because of the split chassis, or maybe traction tyres. Okay, here comes the answer then. Right. So, as you can see, the wheels here that have the pickups going to them have a plastic spacer between the wheel itself and the axle, right? So the axle is insulated from the wheel. You can see that better on that one. On this side, there's no plastic. That is metal wheel there touching the metal axle. So the current from these wheels goes through the axle, which touches the chassis, and the whole chassis becomes live with that rail, right? And that's why there's only one wire going to the motor. See, this is the one wire. The motor itself, as you can see when we put it back on, is screwed directly onto the chassis at the back. And the whole motor, as you can see, is live. So the whole body, the whole chassis there of the motor is completely live. And this brush here, as you can see, doesn't have any insulation on it. So the wire, the spring that holds that pickup in place, is live. The other one, as you can see, it's not the case. This one's got insulation on it, and that's why this thing goes behind it. When I put it back together, this thing will go behind there, and that's what powers it. That is connected to the pickups, this wire. So that's how it works. One side has pickups, and the other side just is live to the chassis, which is why you've got all these insulated parts here. It's why you can't have the metal wires touching the chassis. Because if any of the wire touches the chassis, it will just short out. Quite interesting, isn't it? Of course, they don't do that these days. Yeah, all locos these days just have pickups going to each wheel because it's probably too much of a risk to have the chassis live. Obviously, if you if you install a DCC decoder into a loco who's got a live chassis, I suppose that could cause problems. You could get more chance to get a short circuit, I guess. Okay, there we are, we're back together. And that was that. Plenty of oil. These like a bit of extra oil, these do. Right, let's see. What's my favourite British loco? It's probably the C1 Atlantic or the rebuilt Merchant Navy. The loco chassis is negative. That is normal practice. Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't in practice turn out like that, does it? Because you can change the direction on the controller and then the other one becomes live. Or positive, or negative, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Right. Let's get this body back. In fact, no, let's not put the body back on because I need to clean the wheels, don't I? Getting distracted now. Right. Here we go. Are we still in shot? Yeah, I think so. Right, so let's see if I can power this. How do I power this best? Because if you could just put it straight onto the brush, but it's very easy to break contact between the brush and the commutator, so I don't tend to do that. See if I can push this insulation out of the way and put it on there. Yeah. Right, that should work then, if I've got it all right. The other clip can go onto the... Yeah, let me show you this, it's quite interesting. So I've just put the other crocodile clip onto my helping hand, and the helping hand's clipping onto the coupling, and hopefully, if I put it together right, the loco should work. There we go. So I've only got one wire going to the loco. That would have been quite a good optical illusion, wouldn't it? Although it's not an optical illusion. That would have been a great trick, wouldn't it? Will it work? Everyone would be like, no. Because like this, you wouldn't know that the other crocodile lead was going to the helping hand, would you? Darn it, I gave it away. If someone new joins and they're like, hello, hello, let me know and we'll do it and see if we can mess with somebody. Okay, Blue Boy 3801, you're going to sleepy, no problem. When are you next running diesel, says Pascal? I don't know. We'll see if anyone requests any on Sunday's live stream. That would be fun. And this is a diesel, so I guess now. Alright. Look at that. What a difference. Yeah, these things do get a bit dirty. I will just, I forgot to oil the crank pins here. Yeah, I don't know why they get so dirty. I mean, they have fewer wheels picking up, which I guess makes a difference. The motors tend to draw a bit more current, so I guess you've got more current going through each wheel. Perhaps the material that the wheels are made out of attracts dirt a bit more. I don't know. Be interesting to read a paper on that, wouldn't it? Right, let's carry on. Technically speaking, you don't have to clean the middle wheels, but I always do, for some reason. Yeah, they don't touch the track. That's another fun fact. So whoever was saying in the chat, was it Dom, that the centre wheels are blind? You are absolutely right. Yes, they don't touch the track. They don't have flanges, but even if they did, it wouldn't matter because they don't touch the track. Although I guess if they had flanges, it would matter because then the flanges would be at track level, wouldn't they? Yes, a lot of people don't like that about trying locos. Why don't the middle wheels have flanges? That's true. I mean, it's a fair criticism by modern standards, but of course, back in the day, they were designed for your dining room table, and third radius curves wouldn't fit on dining room tables. They were all first radius. Well, it's not strictly true. There were some third radius track produced, but not a lot. Oops, thought we were dead then. There we go. Good and clean. Let's give that another go. And then we'll leave that to run for a second because my IPA bottle is all but empty. Right, very good. Okay, leave that going then. How's everyone going? Is it a Ginty or an 08? Well, the chassis is the same as the Ginties used, but this one is an 08, technically. Just woke up. Who just woke up? Ryan Rail just woke up. Ah, I guess I woke you up today, did I, with my surprise stream? Sorry about that. Well, I appreciate you coming to watch. Everybody's welcome. There we go. So my bottle of IPA is full. I need to order another one of those, actually. I wouldn't like to run out. Still got a few more weeks left of that, though. 50s Marklin had that too. What was that? JPS Holland. What are you talking about? You mean the pickup mechanism, I guess? Hey, Harry Potter, nice to see you. Marklin steps out of it because the wheel look like they're in a different size. Yeah. Smooth Ginty runner. It is pretty smooth. Let's see if we can get it to do a crawl. Because it's not on the track, it might do a better crawl. Sort of. It's stalled, unfortunately. Actually, that's a bit of a pants crawl, isn't it? There we go. That's literally as good as it's going to get, and it might probably stall like that. It's not bad for the age, though, is it? Although if I hooked up the feedback controller, I might be able to get it to do better than that. Let's try it a bit slower. No, didn't like that, did it? Right, okay, stop messing about, let's get on with this. So I've still got another one of these 08s to do. Right, let's get the body back on, shall I? Okay, so how does this one go? This one hooks in at the front. I've been careful not to put my fingers all over it because they're a bit oily. Then it sits down at the back, perfect. Body screw. Jumps in there like that. Sorry if you can't see this too well, these are a bit fiddly to do. I'm not even sure if it's lined up right. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. It's awkward to do this. There we are. I think we're in. You've got to be really careful that your screwdrivers don't slip when you're doing this, because they can, and then you can stab the body of the loco, which isn't very good, obviously. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to do a better crawl on the track. I would highly doubt it, but we'll try. What's people saying? I need advice, says Polarized367. Well, jump it in the chat and we'll see what people says. Sammy B Films, Miles is doing fine, as far as I know. I think he's absolutely fine. Right, track test. Hopefully this works. Of course, we've not actually tested the pickups because I was doing it directly then. But we're fine, yeah. Look at that, that is such a good runner. Even over the express points, look, not too bad. Right, let's try that crawl. Oh. I'll tell you what, it is doing a better crawl. Even though it stopped. I don't know, I think it needs a bit more, doesn't it? It's stalling. Yeah, I suppose it was a bit better. It's all in the controller really, isn't it? Okay, perfect. Very good. That's another one done. Perfect. Right, let's see how everyone's doing. How's everybody? Everybody feeling okay? More SC, nice to see you, hello. Will you every talk in the live stream chat? Yeah, I will. Hang on, let's put hello. Although no one will understand why, because there's a bit of a delay, isn't there? Yeah, they are a bit noisy, Ryan, yeah, that's right. It's the bodies that do it. Did you notice when it was running on the desk, it wasn't that loud? It's the bodies that do it. The sound sort of echoes around inside the bodies and makes it pretty noisy. Although, I don't know why that doesn't happen with modern locos. I think there's just less rattling around going on, less smaller tolerances on all the different moving parts. Yeah, there's quite a lot of movement in those trying motors. I suppose they could vibrate a bit more. Okay, anyway, so we'll put this again for April 21. Very good, that's a tick. And the next one is the BR Green 08. And it's the same thing, so we'll do that. I bought this one from an antique shop, it says. I do tend to write down where I got them from. Right, let's go and grab it. I like this one. This one might be the one. I think this probably is the one that has my dodgy body mounting on it. So we'll have a look at that. Boy, is OBS a pain to stream with. Is it, Mark? Why? What's going on? Hello in the chat, Sam. Oh yeah, hello Mark. Hello, hello. Yes, it can be a pain, although mine seems to be working all right now. You're finally talking in the chat. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't really need to. I can talk live, can't I? How do you remagnetize a motor? Do you need an electromagnetic setup? I have a remagnetizing device made by a chap called Ronald Dog, who is here on YouTube, so if you can send him a message, he might still produce them. This is what it looks like. Let me zoom out. Great big heavy thing. That's what you do. I've got a video on it, so if you want to check it out, do. But that's what it looks like. You don't use it very often. Magnets will last for years once they've been done, but there was a time where I would run trying locos all the time, and I still service them all the time, so it's worth me having one. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't terribly expensive. It was about 130 quid, something like that. It wasn't bad. Right, let's go in close. Let's see if this is the one with my dodgy motor. Sorry, dodgy body mount. Let's see. Oh no, it's not. It must be the other one that I haven't done then. Must be the southern green one. Okay, so we'll do this one a bit quicker because I won't talk about it. Looks like a slipper. I guess it does a bit. You certainly wouldn't want it on your foot though. Right. Yes, I know a lot of people that are like that. Who the only diesels they like are the 08 shunters. Yeah, they are nice, aren't they? They've got a bit of charm to them, that's for sure. Right, let's see if we can do this in record time then. Like I said, the first one was going to be until I got all distracted. Right, whip the motor out. Knock the brushes out, there we go. You can probably leave the brush spring on, but I tend to take them off. There we go. Give the commutator a quick clean. As you can see, these look really good already, but it's fine. Okay, give us some needle, clean those out. Yeah, you get a lot of practice at this. There we go, very good. Put the needle somewhere safe. I always jam the needles into my solder cleaner because they stay there, they stay sticking up. You just have to, well, nobody else uses it but me, but if they did, I'd have to warn them, hey, there are needles sticking out of that. Yeah, my loft is a health and safety nightmare. You ought to see some of the wiring for the lights. But it's all safe. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's all ultra insulated and safe, but yeah, I'm glad that it's only me that operates it. And it's all low voltage, of course, most of it is. Okay, that is the motor done. Okay, let's grab the chassis and do the same. So it's very much the same drill as last time. There we go, one screw. That's just so, they're not overly simple, but they're not overly complex either. They're just perfect, in my opinion, these trying locos. And you can tell because they still work today. And that's one of the big questions raised in the hobby. In 50 years' time, will locos produced this year still work as well as these tryings do 50 years on? I don't know. It's probably not fair to say no, is it? Because who knows? They might well do, but we'll see. Let us know what you think in the chat. Yes or no. Will they still be working this well? I reckon some of them will. I mean, there are some locos like the Hornby D16s that are just so well designed, beautifully designed. I have no doubt, provided motors are available, because motors do fail, you know, no matter how good they are, over a time span of 50 years. But provided you can get new motors for them, I wouldn't be surprised if they were still running in 50 years. It all depends on how well they're looked after and who's dropping them and playing with them and being rough. But he says, throwing his screwdriver across the room. But yeah, in the right conditions, I would say some of Hornby's locos, not just Hornby's, some of, you know, a lot of Bachmann's probably as well. But the D16 and the B12s, they always stick in my mind as ultra well designed, really good quality. And yes, they're expensive, but for once, they are absolutely worth every penny, in my opinion. I may not have known that at the time when I reviewed them, because obviously I hadn't opened them up at that point. But if I were to re-review them, and I might do one day, I would definitely make that clear. And I did, I think, cover one of those in video, on a video, didn't I? I did a teardown or something. And yeah, amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Right, what did people say in the chat? Not without remotoring. I like transport. Yeah, I think remotoring is fair when we're talking 50 years. Will you get a Hatton 66 SLD 51? I thought about it. The only thing is, my dilemma is, I've already reviewed it. As much as I'd love to own one, I could spend that money on a loco that I've not reviewed before. And I think for the channel, that would be better, wouldn't it? Rather than wanting to own something that I've already reviewed. But yeah, it's very possible that I will get one, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Right, I think with that, we are just about done. So, are we safe there? Not really. Let's get the crank pins a little oil there. There we go. Notice the crank pins on the ends don't actually work like proper crank pins. You have to pull them out. They just literally fall into holes in the wheels. So you have to pull them out slightly, put the oil in there. It's a little quirk. It was a big change when they eventually changed to real crank pins. And the Hornby crank pins are great, aren't they? Those 2.5mm hex screws, brilliant things. As long as they stay screwed in, of course. Sometimes they work themselves out, don't they? Which isn't very good. Okay, I think we're working. What you could do is put a little bit of Vaseline on the insides of these pickup wheels I'm not going to do that because I haven't fully tested and approved that theory yet. But let us know in the chat, does Vaseline sound like a good idea for pickups? You can't get it on plastics, but yeah, it's probably a better option, well cheaper at least, than the sort of electro lubes that you can buy. And like I say, I put it on my O-gauge Loco pickups and it works really, really well. Never had that O-gauge 4F cut out, I don't think. Logan R, thank you so much. Can you do a tutorial on how to remove hair from a Loco wheels or how to set up a layout on carpet so it doesn't contact hair? That's very interesting. Well, for some Locos it's very easy. So say with Locos like the Terrier, where you can just take the wheel set out, once you've got the wheels in your hands, it's easy. You can literally just take the hairs straight off. As for setting up track on carpet, you see I'm quite lucky because my carpet's old and it's been trodden down. So it's not a very fluffy carpet, and provided I vacuum it every week or so, which I do, it's never a problem. If you have a more fluffy carpet, obviously cleaning regularly is very important. I would recommend something like the Bachmann Easy Track, which raises the track up off the ground. Search that up if you haven't seen it already. Or you could put your own, you could make a sort of track bed out of, I suppose even paper could do it, or you could use something a bit more permanent if you wanted to do it properly, if you really want to be on the carpet. I know some people do. Some people like it, and that's fine. I mean, whatever you like is absolutely fine. That's what this hobby's about, really, isn't it? If everybody's layouts were the same, it would be a very boring hobby indeed. So yeah, you could probably get some track underlay. You could make your own with paper, or if you wanted something more permanent, you could probably get some cork or something, put that under the track, and then you wouldn't get carpet touching the trains. That's what I used to do. TARDIS Rescue will tell you that. I used to have big sheets of brown paper. Goodness knows why I had brown paper. But I used to put that under the track, and that would just stop it touching the carpet. Don't do that anymore, of course, because it looks terrible for videos, but yeah, you could do that. Okay, time, we're done. Assuming, of course, it works. So let's have a look, see if it does. Where are we? There we go. So there we are, 208s serviced up nicely. Lovely. All right, out of interest, I wonder if this one will do a better crawl. It's hard to say. Let's try. Here we go. Ooh, yes, actually. That's very good. Look at that. Has stalled. But don't forget, these have only got 4 pickups, 2 going to each line, so it's not bad. And if I try it, I wonder if it'll do any better on a feedback controller. Let's try it on the HM2000. Oh yeah, look at that. See, that's handling that much better. It's not stalling at that speed. That is amazing. Except for when it cuts out. But yeah, they are brilliant, aren't they? Get yourself some. They're so cheap on eBay. And you've seen how to service them. That's the only thing. If you've bought one and it's not been used for many years, it will need a service. But how long did that one take? 15 minutes? 10 minutes? I mean, you take your time. You can take an hour on it if you need to. But they're very good, very good. Right, let's sign that one off. April 20, April 21, very good. Give that one a tick then. The next one is Albert Hall. I know a lot of people like Albert Hall, so I'm glad that one's coming up. And then we'll finish off after that with an 040. I'll show you how to service a Hornby 040. A lot of people ask me on how to do that. How do you service these standard pocket rocket Hornby 040s? The answer is they don't need a lot of servicing. Generally speaking, a quick wheel clean and a quick pickup clean is all you need to do, and they'll be fine. You can put a little oil on the motors or something like that. That's all they need normally. Unless there's a problem, that's probably all they need. Right. Do you know Marklin? Says Polarized 367. Yes, I know Marklin. I don't have any of their Locos though, that's for sure. A lot of people are asking that in the chat. What about Marklin? 12 minutes, 18 seconds to the point of on the track. Oh, brilliantly. That was very proactive of you. Well done. Emma, I'm not ignoring you, Emma. No, I've just been concentrating. Sorry about that. What engine would you advise me to get, as I'm looking to get a new one? I already have a diesel shunter, little steam shunter, Flying Scotsman. Ooh, sounds... And a DMU that keeps jumping off the tracks. Well, It depends what you're into. Let us know in the chat what sort of thing you're looking for, and I'm sure people will send you some recommendations. From me, just check out my reviews playlist. I've got hundreds and hundreds of Locos reviews, so if you want to find out what's hot, check out some of those. Or check out my top 5 Locos of 2019 if you want a quick answer. Okay, Albert Hall. So this is a slightly later Loco. This one wasn't from the 60s. I think they first introduced this in the 70s. It's got a bit more detail, but it does have the same base motor. Although I think this is the XO4, or is it XO3? I forget now, variant that has the nylon gear instead of the metal gear. So it's sort of making that transition towards the slightly cheaper aspect or element that we see these days. But they don't, I've never seen one of these gears split or anything like that. They're absolutely fine. Okay, let's get this in shot properly, shall we? There we go. Doesn't have to be in the middle. I don't know what I wanted it to be. Okay, look at that big long screw. That body ain't coming off, is it? Unless you want it to. And then it just slides forward, I think. There we are. So look at that, completely different model. Look, 460. It's got the same motor. Although it's not quite the same. You can't change this with the, you couldn't put this in the OH Shunter without changing the worm drive because they've got a different gear ratio, I think. Christian Man, nice to see you. What is your favourite railroad? Ooh, that's tricky, Christian. Thanks for the support, first of all. I would say it's probably the Southern Railway. Although, is that a railway and not a railroad? Are you asking what my favourite US railroad is? I don't know. I'd probably pick the Baltimore and Ohio because it's got some strange engines, hasn't it? The Camelbacks for a start. Right, I've just noticed that the wire from the pickups, remember we talked about that, is actually soldered to the brush. I must have soldered this one directly, which means I can't take that brush out without desoldering it. But that's fine. I can probably get away with that. I don't like doing that. I don't do that these days. I always put a little holder in, but it's okay. We can still clean the commutator by taking out the other brush. And I suppose I can bend that brush back and give it a little clean. Yeah, easy. There we are. Cool, that's a dirty one. I perhaps didn't clean that last time. It's amazing what you forget to do sometimes, isn't it? Oh dear, look at that. Looks like it's been up a chimney sweep's backside, that does. Crikey. God, that was a bit borderline, wasn't it? Didn't actually make any sense, that joke, actually. So we probably shouldn't call it a joke. Right, cleaned up nicely though. This is because these are cleaning up so quick and easy because I've scaled them with Dremel. It's quite a risky thing to do and you can easily damage motors by doing it, but if you're servicing a lot, and if you're servicing them every year like I do, it's worth doing it because as you can see I'm just cleaning these up dead quick and easy and they're shining beautifully. Some people say it's not a good idea to use a Dremel on the commutators, and with modern locos I would say that's probably true, but these tend to be absolutely fine. And what you tend to find is when you scale them with the wire wheel, they do get dirty very quickly, and what I'd normally recommend doing is let the loco run in after you've done it and then clean it again, because what you find is that as the brushes run over it when it's freshly cleaned, it smoothens them out. And while that's happening, you know, while they're a bit rough after you've just done it, oh, did I clean this one? Yeah, while they're fresh and rough, as you've just done it, they do get dirty quick, but you know, after half an hour's running, it smoothens out again, you can clean it and then it stays clean. And even if it doesn't, from then on it's easy to clean, which is good. So there we go. What I think I'll do is I'll trial a bit of that silicone grease on this one. Like I say, the silicone grease I'm using is Sealy Silicon Clear Grease. I'm being very careful with it. I'm not putting it on all my models. I'm just putting it on 1 or 2 test subjects because I don't know how it's going to affect the plastics and stuff over time. So it's going to be a few years before I'm recommending it to people. I don't recommend silicone grease at this point, but I do test different substances. Just like the Vaseline, I'm testing Vaseline as well. And like I say, I bought some syringes and this is how I'm dispensing it. So there's a V on that one, that's for Vaseline. And then I've got an S on this one for silicone. and it's just a bit easier than trying to, I don't know, distribute it with some other means. Okay, so slightly different pickups. The pickups are just wires on these, as you can see, that have been bent around a jig or something. Just clean the chassis off a little bit, get rid of all the dirt. But as you can see, none of these locos have got hair all over them, which just proves that if you're on the carpet, it's not necessarily going to guff up your locos. But I should again stress that these locos are serviced every year and the carpet is cleaned frequently. Right. Wheel set's turning nice and free. These Hall class locos are a bit of a pain actually, because sometimes the metal tyres can come off the wheels. In fact, can I do it? No, I probably don't want to do it actually, but yeah, I have had that happen before. I don't know if it was this one or not. Perhaps it was. And I had to glue them back on the wheels. But yeah, just a fun fact for you. Although it's not fun. It's certainly not fun. It freaked me out the first time I saw it happen. Chaz Ballinger, no, you're not being ignored. I can't actually see the chat while I'm doing the servicing. I have to lean over and take a look. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for everyone who's just saying I'm busy. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I made Sam an OC. What's an OC again, David? I forget about that. My God, these kids need attention. No, it's okay. I understand it's not the normal way I do streams. I'm normally looking at the chat more frequently than this. But after each loco, kids, or folks, or adults, or whoever you are, yeah, after each loco, I will be looking at the chat. And so if you've got anything you desperately would like to say, I will listen to you say it. Okay, so that's those pickups back in place. We've got to make sure these wires are in the right place. Let's just try and shift that across. That's it. Are we in? Nearly. Yeah, these are a bit fiddly actually. As you can see, the pickups come out of position again. Are we in? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and the brown wire, of course, doesn't need to be trapped under that plate. Yeah, I think we're free. All right, good. Did I put oil on the axle? Plural. I'm not sure, can't remember. I'll put some on. I can still get to the axles, so it's not a big deal. Right. Did anyone see me do it? I can't remember, because that centre one I can't get to. I think there's a hole. Oh no, there isn't a hole. So never mind if not. See if anyone was actually concentrating. That's the one problem shooting these streams and streaming them live. You don't always concentrate. This pickup is not actually in place. I might have to take this off again. Yeah, I think I'm going to. It's not correctly seated. I think it would have been absolutely fine. I think it would have worked, but you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Right. Let's see if anyone... No, I didn't, says Lee Tong. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. Let's put some on then. Really, I suppose I should be using Vaseline there instead of the oil, because, like I say, they need to conduct through the axles. I haven't done that, but like I say, once I've approved Vaseline, I might try it. Now, I don't know if I got this the wrong way or not. I might have done, but no, I didn't. Yeah, these base plates are interesting. Look, they're designed to fit lots of different locos. Can you see where the notches are? Those notches accept all sorts of different types of pickups. I believe that's what the reason is for them. So you have to sometimes figure out which orientation they were designed for. I think mine goes in like that, or it might be the other way. See, there's no telling. Is it like that? No, it can't be like that. See, I've gone and confused myself now. Is it like that? Yeah, it's like that. It was right then. I did have it right. Let's start this again, shall we? Let's get the pickups out. Yeah, I must say I prefer the sort of brass or copper pickups. They're better, aren't they? But these wires, they work, but it's just not quite as easy to service them. Oh, what am I doing? No, I've still got this the wrong way. Which way was it? Yeah, it's that way, isn't it? Who's this? Oh, thank you very much, Christian man. I was using the term. Okay. So Southern Railway was an acceptable answer then. Okay. Thanks, Christian. Thank you very much. Right. I think we're in. Are the pickups in properly this time? They're actually not staying in very well. But I think, in fact, that one could do with adjusting because it's not actually touching the wheel. So let's do that. Just bend that forwards a bit. Obviously, if you bend them too far forwards, they'll wear away when the wheels turn. They'll have excess wear. So you've got to get them just right. But that one wasn't touching the wheel, so obviously it needs going in a bit. Man, I don't remember having trouble with this before. Right, is it touching the wheel now? Yes, let's move that wire. This is about the 10th time I've shifted this wire out the way. Okay. Having a bit of a fight with this one. But no, that appears to be in correctly now. Right. Let's screw that on then. I'm not 100% happy with that pickup. Doesn't seem to be staying on the retainer very well. But if it's not in correctly, it'll probably touch the chassis and short out. So I think you'll know if it's not in right. Or I'll know. We'll find out. Out of interest, is it shorting right now? Let's see. Obviously the motor isn't going to run if I power it because it's not touching the chassis. No, they're not shorting. And they are contacting both wheels. It is shorting now that I'm doing that. So we have got contact all over. And you'll notice, interestingly enough, that the centre wheel, even though it doesn't have any contacts on it, any pickups, it still shorts the controller out. The reason is because the valve gear and the coupling rods are made of metal and they actually conduct. So that's a fun little fact for you as well. It's quite interesting that. That confused me when I first discovered it. But yeah, that's the reason I think. I think that's the reason. Because they should be insulated, they should be isolated otherwise. Right, let's get this back in. The brown wire is supposed to trap underneath the motor, which I don't like really because it could raise the motor up a little bit. It could angle the motor, which you don't really want. But equally, if you don't trap it under the motor, you've then got a wire near the wheels, which can sometimes foul them. So I do trap them, but you want to make sure it's screwed in properly. Right, let's try a bit of silicone grease on these then, because they do have nylon gears. Right, silicone. I have to make sure I do get silicone and not Vaseline, because as I say, I think people might be able to confirm this or deny it in the chat, but I think Vaseline is, or petroleum jelly more specifically, is corrosive to plastics, or certain plastics, I don't know which. There we go, a little bit on there, and then I'll have to run it real slowly to start with. In fact, let's zoom right in, let's get this on the helping hand. We'll zoom right in and we'll look at that mix in. It might be like one of those satisfying videos that you get to watch on YouTube, although I'm sure it won't be that satisfying. It all, this silicone grease I've noticed when you put it on a worm drive, it sort of all froths up and looks really cool. And gone. Turn the controller off a little bit. Right, let's zoom in. Well, that's nice. Okay, let's add a little bit more silicone then. Want plenty on it. It's not like oil. In a way, this might be better than oil because it doesn't run everywhere like oil does. It's got a bit more viscosity to it, as you can see. Right, let's see if we can get this to go in then. Here we go. Struggling to get this to start. Probably should have checked it actually. Get a bit more voltage. Right. There we are. Well, that was unremarkable, wasn't it, actually? Speed it up a bit. I can see that it's actually transferred onto the big driving gear. And there's a big glob of it going around. I don't know if you can know, you can't see that probably. But I'll get that off, because obviously big globs of grease will attract dirt, which is not something you really want. It's just quite a nice, it's quite a pleasing shot, isn't it, that? Just of the worm drive there, spinning the wheels. It's quite nice. You know, a good runner, as you can see, look. Very satisfying. Right, good. Let's flip this over then and clean those wheels. Zoom out as well. If I forgot to do that, that would not be good. Right, you might be able to see that big glob of grease that I need to try and get off. Let's reconnect. Make sure the wire's out the way. Yeah, valve gear doesn't like wires, I've found. There we go. Let's get some of that off. Suppose I could load it back onto the gear, couldn't I? It's probably a good idea. It's got plenty on. Although I did just notice there was I think an eyelash of mine gone onto it. There we are, that was gone. Right, let's go nice and slow again. Get that work in. There we go. So if we can shave some of this grease off. There we are, that's it. That's got rid of the extra. Oh, who was that? Oh, Carl Young, thank you so much. Before I cry, do you know 9F Black Prince? Before asked again. Yes, I do know Black Prince. Yeah, I don't own one. I don't own one, but yes, I know of the Loco. Yes, for sure. I think I've seen a model version of it as well. Right. Tell you what, can you hear that? This one sounds beautiful. It's got a real nice sound to it. Haven't oiled the crank pins yet, in fact. I like to do that before I clean the wheels, so that's why I do keep stopping when I remember. Because obviously if you get oil everywhere and you clean the wheels afterwards, it doesn't matter so much. See, I put a bit too much on that one. If that was a modern Loco, I'd be like, oh no, cleaning it off. But with this one, it's not so bad because they like a bit of extra oil. But I will just contact the cotton wood onto that. Just draw a bit of it out. That should be fine. And then we'll finish off and do an 040 because that is one of them listed. I think it's due for a service, so we'll give it a try. Very good. How's everybody doing? Oops. That's it. The wheels are squeaky clean. You can hear them squeaking. Oh, yo, Gonzalez is new here. Hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. That's software, David Mendes. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it, that? It's sort of, what's the word? I've forgotten the word. I'm bad for that. It'll come to me in a second. Beautiful noise though, yeah. I've forgotten what word I was trying to think of then. You know when the frequency of two objects match and they, you get like a big high amplitude. I don't know, I'm talking gibberish now, aren't I? Yeah, it'll come to me, it'll come to me. Right, I think we're done there. I will just clean, I'll leave it running because it's quite pleasing, isn't it? While I just clean the front bogey wheels. It's going to bug me now that I couldn't think of the right word. I could Google it, but I don't want to. I'm not that obsessive about it. Right, these wheels aren't too bad. I wonder if anyone's going to put me out of my misery in the chat. Let's see. Just serviced a Bachmann 150 that uses the brass bearings as pickups. Well, I would say then, try the Vaseline, try the petroleum jelly. To be clear, do so at your own risk, because I don't really know the effects of it yet. But so far it seems to work fine. If you want to be safer, I think there are products called Electrolube, something like that, which are obviously designed for model railways. You're probably safer. Yeah, I am trialling Vaseline for that because it is slightly conductive. So yeah, that's my advice. Don't try it if it's a Loco that you really care about. I'm just trying it at the moment on cheaper models just to see how they go. I've also tried it on a Bachmann split chassis Loco on the actual axles because I'm interested to know if that will allow me to lubricate those, because obviously if you put oil on those, the oil will interfere with the contact. So we'll try that actually. When I come to test this haul, I'll put it was the Daylight that I did it with actually. Probably shouldn't have done it with such a big Loco, but I was feeling brave. I did it about a month ago, so if it's destroyed the axles or something, it won't be running right now, so we'll give that a try. Shall we see? I've actually only just remembered that I'd done that. So we'll have a go. Let's try the whole class first though, verify that works properly. With those dodgy pickups, the pickups are very much in place now though. They are right, so that's good. All right, make sure the front bogey's on, give it a go. Oops, immediate derailment. I think I just put it on wrong. Unless I'd upset one of the tyres when I tried to pull the tyre off. No, I don't think so. I hope not. Okay, yeah, that one is fine, I think. We are. Nice run of that one. Very good. Right, let's grab that daylight, because I'm a bit interested. So, yeah, just to verify, I've put Vaseline, well, petroleum jelly. Shouldn't use Vaseline because that's a brand name, isn't it? But, yeah, petroleum jelly on the axles to help the picking up and to also lubricate. So let's see if this has actually worked. It did work when I did it, but the concern at the moment is how does it affect the materials over time? That's what I want to find out before I do it to every single loco I own. Being very careful. Right, so like I say, this one was done last month and I put a bit of petroleum jelly on the axles, so let's see if it still works. I tell you what, that is beautiful. Can you hear how quiet that is? This is a Bachmann split chassis loco. Let me get close. See how quiet that is? That is amazing. Again, don't go out and buy petroleum jelly to try, because like I say, it might ruin things over time. But in the space of a month, that is still beautifully good. That is really excellent. Happy with that. That's the best it's ever run. Wow, an idea that looks like it might work. I mean, if it was all going to go wrong, I would have expected it to have gone wrong by now. But yeah, give it a bit longer, perhaps 6 months, and then I might try it on a few more models. Right, we'll do one more, folks. What do you reckon? One more? Enjoying your videos. JF840 for the love of trains. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much. That's really kind. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'll make sure everybody that has super chatted today gets put into the competition. I'll make sure that's done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, Albert Hall gets a tick. Lovely. And that will be done. Blimey, the first service I did on that was in October 2014. Wow. That's the Hall class. April 20, April 21. Right. Which 040 am I doing? It's Queen Mary, I think. So let's go back to Hornby. I'll look for the Queen Mary and we'll show you that. I warn you though, it's very simple servicing the Hornby 040s. I won't go to any special effort, I'll just show you what I normally do. Obviously you can take the motors out and really go to town on them if they're bad. But if it's just routine servicing and they're working okay, then I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, very good. Let me go and find it. How's everyone doing? You all right? You like jazz? Yeah, I like jazz. Will you eat more penguin cakes? Maybe, depends. Using Vaseline's benefits wear off over time. I'm using it to lube Rubik's Cube. It melted the blocks, yes, yeah. Well, I found that out, yeah. You can't use it to lubricate plastics, I don't think. Yes, it doesn't like plastics. But yeah, obviously the axles on a split chassis loco are metal. I suppose the concern could be with those, if it gets onto the insulation between the axle parts, it could ruin it. But my logic there was they fail anyway. And you're forever having to glue them and repair them anyway, so it doesn't matter, does it? So we'll see. American British Railways, that Barricaldo would look lovely on my layout, Sam. Oh, I see. Hint, hint. No problem. I'll make sure you put in for this stream. Do you know if any of the online retailers like Hattons or Rails Sheffield are still dispatching products overseas during the lockdown? I think so. That I don't think I've heard any other. I assume if they're shipping products full stop, there's no reason why they couldn't do it overseas. Might be worth getting in touch to check, but as far as I know, Hattons and Rails are still dispatching at the moment. It's probably worth a check though. Right, let's have a look at this then. So the biggest problem with these is how to power it to clean the wheels, and for that I would normally recommend removing the body. The bodies come off in a variety of different ways, but I think this one is just screwed on, so we'll try. These are the easy ones if they're screwed on. Some of them you have to unclip, which is very frustrating. But no, that one was screwed on, which is fine. And then it's very, very easy to do. So you pop it down like that, little oil on the worm drive like that, tiny bit of oil on the motor bearings, and you can get to the back ones on these. There we go. You could probably put some on the axles as well. And on the worm drive, of course, on the gear. The back one I can't get to, so you can actually take the motors out if you really want to and oil the back set, but it is plastic on plastic, sorry, metal on plastic actually. So it might be alright, but I'll probably just leave it. I normally just do. Okay, I think that's all we need to do. We could probably put some on the crank pins, like that. And then obviously now that the body's off, we've got access to the motor contacts. So it's literally just as simple as grabbing your crocodile leads. And you can make up crocodile leads that plug into your train controller if you don't have a power supply. You just buy some crocodile leads on eBay. You can make them up if you can solder. If not, you could probably buy them ready-made with a bit of searching. Okay, and that's it. That's all you do, and then you can clean the wheels as usual. And that's all they need. They're pretty low maintenance. One thing I want to do is I've managed to buy some 5-pole versions of the motors that go in here. I'd love to try installing one. Have a Pocket Rocket 040 running on a 5-pole motor. That would be awesome. Yeah, I got some dead cheap. In fact, I'm doing a video soon about cheap motors and whether they actually work right. So that will be an interesting one. Hopefully that will be going up soon. Yeah, I've got some hopefully quite interesting videos coming up. It should be good. Right, there we go. That's it. That's all you do. You just clean the wheels and the inside rims of the wheels, of course, and that's all. Ryan's off, no problem, Ryan. See ya. I'll be off soon as well. No problem. Do you have any Via Rail models? XD Sam the Gamer says. No, I don't think I've even ever heard of them. What sort of thing do they do? I'm always interested in trying new brands. Right. To be perfectly honest with you, by far the hardest aspect of these 040s is getting the bodies on and off. I mean that seriously. This one wasn't bad because it has got a screw, but some of them are a bit of a pest. Are you excited for Bachmann's new Caledonian 812? Yes, it's very exciting looking, although I won't be able to afford one because they're £200. And when Hornby produce their 040, sorry, their 060 tender engine, the J36, which is similar, you know, similar sort of size. It's similar in that they have reasonably complex liveries. Mine had TTS sound fitted and it costed like 150 quid, something like that. So unfortunately I don't think I could justify 200 quid on an 060. So yeah, I know the liveries are gorgeous and complex and all that, but yeah, to me they're just too expensive. But if anyone decides to get one, be sure to let me know what they're like. I'd be very interested to know. This little metal piece is giving me a bit of jip. I don't really know what that's for. It must be a weight. Try and put it in the chassis and then we can screw into it. Because it's not going in. It's obviously not liking being put in at an angle. Don't really know which way it's supposed to go. Could be that way. Yeah, it's that way I think. So annoyingly, I told you I wasn't kidding, the hardest part about this is getting the bodies on and off. Let's try and do it this way up. No, I don't think that's right. No, it's got to go in the other way. So it needs to be central, right? But how? Let's try again. It's annoying. I'd be tempted just to take this out because it's such a light little piece. I don't really know what it could possibly be helping to do. But we'll persevere for now. No, that can't be right. It can't go in that way. Try it in there. Yeah, that looks better. Don't mind me, I'm just getting into a mess with this. Is that better? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I've had trouble with those before actually, because they come out and you didn't get a chance to register which direction they fit in. Oh well. Okay, well I'm fairly sure that's going to work because I've not really dismantled it, have I? But we'll give it a test and see. Here we go. Well, folks, thank you all very, very much for coming, and thank you for those folks who have sent in super chats. I wasn't expecting any today, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oop, wrong controller. I hope you're all staying safe, of course. I hope you're all finding something to do, and I hope this stream today helped you out to actually, you know, fill an hour or two. Let me know in the chat if you'd like to see more of these, and I might do another next week, Monday or something like that. We will see. We'll see. Obviously, I am trying to, you know, film my regular videos as well. That was one of the reasons I didn't really want to do this, but I'm servicing anyway, so I thought, you know what, even though it takes longer while I'm talking, and even though I've got to set it all up and stuff, I think if people appreciate it and it gives people something to watch, I think I'm more than willing to do it. So there we go. David Mendes says, please look at the chat. Let's see. Can you answer my question? Yeah, ask it again, David, and I'll take a look. I'll check them out as well. Hatton's site is brilliant, though. Yeah, Hatton's website is pretty good. They have been trialling some updates to it. I don't know if they've gone live yet, but yeah, at one point they were updating the search engine, and it was really good too. So we'll see. I can't email you. How else can I contact you, Harry Potter? Well, the only ways really are via Twitter, Facebook. Sam's Trains on both of those, or via email. If you can't, I don't know what's wrong with the email. It's in the description if you wanted to email. Best wake up stream ever, says Ryan Rail. Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you. Glad you like that. Where was this question? Was it David trying to ask a question? Let's see if we can spot that before I go. Mandel Mad, thanks for the stream sound. Love listening, watching while working from home. That's good to hear. Yeah, that was the idea, just to have something on in the background. Doing my best to service some engines up. Did you watch the video where I made you? No, David, I don't think I did. Did you send it to me? Drop me a comment below this stream and I'll take a look later on. Someone I run in my big boy. Oh, I can send. Oh no, that's very kindly, but no, I don't like to borrow people's locos. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not viable. Obviously, these locos cost a lot of money, and I would not be willing to let people risk sending it through the postal system when they're yours and they cost all what they do. And, you know, things happen, even when I'm handling locos. Sometimes things get broken, and at the end of the day, when I show a loco on my channel, I'm making money from it. You guys watch ads, and that's what pays me. I'd rather not have to profit from you guys in that way. You know, if you want to support the channel, you can send super chats and that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't want to. I like to have bought my engines, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Then I can say what I like about them. I won't hurt people's feelings if I don't like a certain model or something like that. But that's why people don't get to send me stuff to review. But I do appreciate it, obviously. It's very kind of you. And I'll always take suggestions. So if there's any locos you'd like to see reviewed, I can certainly do them. Correct. Tube line, Emma. Oh, I don't know. I don't know many of the tube lines. Not sure. Hello, Harry Potter. Hope you're doing okay. What days do you normally stream? It's normally on Sundays, Dominic, although the last one is going to be this week. I'm thinking about doing this on Monday, though, Monday afternoon. Time permitting. We'll see how it goes. Okay, yep, that's fine. You can get me on Twitter. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you all very much for coming, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some servicing tips. Yes, it was reasonably plain sailing. One or two issues. That castle wasn't as easy to dismantle as I'd have liked it to have been. But yeah, that's unusual. Mostly the Hornby mechanisms are top notch. And that one was good. It was just not that accessible, was it? Okay, folks, well, I'll see you on Sunday. Obviously, I'll probably see you tomorrow. If you watch tomorrow's video, it is a lovely loco coming up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I hope you really enjoy that. If you're a member, if you're an engineer or higher, you'll get access to that tonight at 5:30. You get early access. So members, look out for that. Hope you enjoy it. And then after that, I'll see you on Sunday. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Stay safe. I hope you enjoyed this as a little bit of a one-off, and I will do my best to do another on Monday. I apologise if it doesn't happen somehow, but hopefully it will. Okay, folks, take care of yourselves. Please do stay safe, and that's true more than ever right now. And I'll see you soon. All right, cheers, folks. It's gonna say starting soon or whatever on the screen, but it is the end of the stream now. Okay, bye, everybody. Stay safe. Thank you very much.